Relation.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this New Year's Day special broadcast. I'm Lorilei Potvin of the Angel Rock. We just lost the Dell. I don't know what happened to him. I apologize for a few minutes late, as always. Technical difficulty, so hopefully he'll come back on here and sign back off and get back in. Yeah, we were sitting around today, and like I said, the Dells have the delicious recipe in case I forgot to add that. But yeah, we were sitting around New Year's Day and figured, hey, what's everybody else doing today? And we thought, you know what, why not go live? We don't have any live broadcast scheduled today because it's a holiday. And if you're just listening, you're listening to United Public Radio Network out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And both of us are from Canada. I am a psychic medium. I'm also a crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and mentor. And I'm a registered nurse. And I'm going to tell people, some people don't like Facebook. I have that, or I mean, sorry, YouTube. So, if you want to join in the conversation, please come and join us on UFO Paranormal Radio on the YouTube channel there. I believe I'm streaming to my YouTube channel, The Angel Rock. But for some reason, the comments aren't showing up from Facebook. So, if you'd like to join the conversation, we'd love to have you. I may have to travel downstairs to find out what happened to the Dell because he was here with me. And just as we went live, it cut out. So, what are you guys up to? How was your New Year's? Did you have a good New Year's? Was it quiet? Everybody I've talked to has said the same thing, that they've had a very, very quiet New Year's. It got bitterly cold here up in Canada, like really cold. We were supposed to barbecue some steaks, so I know that Dell is going to be barbecuing some steaks, possibly on camera. He has his chef's papers, so he's supposed to be making, I believe it is steak Oscar. So you may get to watch that being prepared. So, yeah, I want to hear what, if you guys got any New Year's resolutions. Do you make New Year's resolutions? Maybe any changes? What are your hopes and dreams for this year? The last 2 years, and I'm not trying to be negative here, but they have been pretty sucky.
Hello.
There he is. He's back. He's back. Hey, Deli, want to
Okay,
introduce
now we're
yourself?
gonna try and figure this
Oh,
out here
now
with
you sound
volume.
like a chipmunk. You actually sound like a chipmunk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound like an absolute chipmunk. That is just crazy. I think you're going to have to go without this and go back to your regular headphones that you had because
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay. Well, I'm out of these ones. Okay, I'm gonna be jumping
You
out of here
sound, I
because
can't
I had to
even
restart,
understand what
and
you're
I
saying.
can hear you louder here than through this.
Can't even understand what you're saying. I think you're going to have to go back to your old
I'm
headphones.
not liking this new iOS update because this
I
has
have no
totally screwed
idea.
up everything there.
I'm going to
Totally.
have to kick you out of here, Deli, and get you back
Okay.
in
Yep.
here.
No problem.
I removed you. Sorry, guys. I took him out for a sec till he can get his audio issues cleared up there. I'll try him again in a few seconds here. And again, I apologize. That's why we're a few minutes late. For some reason, headphones seem to be going crazy with his feed. Let's try him again. We'll add him and see what happens here.
Okay. Let me try
No,
where they are.
still sounded like a
Oh, there
chipmunk
they
there,
are.
Dell.
No.
So you might want to grab your old headphones. I'll take you off for a few minutes until we can get that straightened out. Never fails on a live show, does it? So, as I was saying, does anybody make New Year's resolutions? I normally don't because I find when we make resolutions, we all have great intentions, but about a week or two later, a lot of us just seem to let those fall by the wayside. Now, the one thing I have resolved to do is move some things around, get a few things cleaned up that I've been wanting to get cleaned up, and that's on my to do list. So, I'm hoping to get that done. But the reason why Dell and I like to talk on here, we had a great conversation on his show on Thursday night on the delicious recipe. For those of you that follow Dell's show, you know it's not a cooking show. It's kind of a little play on a friend of his when he lived in Toronto, Haley, who used to call him Delicious. And he has a chef's papers that actually his show, what it's all about is, I don't like the term conspiracy theory. I'll say truth seeking. Does a little bit of the paranormal as well. And he throws, as he says, all the topics into the pot, stirs them all up, and then tries to see what we come up with at the end of the show. And you guys get to decide what what your thoughts are on it. And for those of you maybe that haven't, oh, I think he's back. Hello?
There we are.
You're still a chipmunk. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the chat if he sounds that way to you. Maybe it's just me. It might be. I'll try unplugging my headphones here. Hopefully, I don't lose my
No,
audio.
can you hear me? I got this turned up full blast. Hopefully, I do. Ding. Loud as it goes. Hello? Now I can't hear you at all. What's going on here?
I don't know, guys, if it's just me. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see if I can grab another phone and see on Facebook because I know there's people
I
watching
can hear you
communicate.
now there, Laura.
I think I might have to come downstairs and join you, Del, because I'm telling you, I cannot hear you. It's just like a
I,
chipmunk. So maybe that's what I'll do, and we'll go without headphones
I can
because,
hear you loud.
yeah, you just literally sound like something off of the Disney show. I can't
Yeah,
understand what you're saying. So I will come
that's what the last one
downstairs
was
and
too.
join you because that's all we can do because I can't hear a word you're saying. And it might be my
Yay,
headphones.
StreamYard.
I can try and see if I've got another set of headphones here. Let me see. Maybe the other headphones will make a difference. Let me see. You guys, if you're in the chat there, I'd love to see. Let me know if you guys maybe are finding it's maybe my headphones or his because that's what it
Well,
sounds like.
I've used these pair. I'm using these
I'm going to
pair.
try
I've
a different
used.
set of headphones. Hang on. We'll see if it's my
Oh,
headphones, okay?
maybe
I
need the
don't want
plug-in ones.
sounding like chipmunks here.
This is
Okay, one
unbelievable
talk.
because when iOS they're updated,
Yeah,
none of
Deli,
these
it's your
problems happen.
headphones. It's your headphones. Sorry, I hate to tell you, but it is. So, how about I come downstairs? We'll go on one camera. We don't normally do that, but we will, just so you guys don't have to listen to us like chipmunks here. Okay, so Del, you might want to turn your headphones off. I'll be right down there. And
Okay.
actually, I'll keep talking until I get downstairs. So, are you there, Del?
And you know what? And that's the problem was that I was so tired from work. So I got potatoes going, and then I'm gonna do up this nice like geez, I should show you these things. Okay. So this is what I picked up from work, and two Dell, two AAA primary steaks. They're like 2 inches. Actually, I'll just open them up. Maybe you guys can take a look at them there. And you cook these up near the end of the stove, so you stuck in room temperature is waiting to go. So I got one for Lore and one for me too. So hold on. So that's one of them, and then the other one's underneath that one. So there's two of them there. So I'm not sure how much Lore can eat there tonight. And so look at that, all the fat, all the flavor you want. And then I got asparagus, and I got I had to get that crab, but I had to get canned crab, and I forgot the mushrooms, so I used. Oh, look at that. Yes, I'm making steak lobster with asparagus chips and Yukon gold potatoes, and that's what we were going to do there over the night. And I was hoping to get the stuff, but you know what? The biggest problem is that last night it went to minus 27 degrees Celsius. So we were trying. I was going to do this there last night, and the propane sort of got a little bit cold, and I didn't want to go and bring it in, and I was just so tired of doing stuff. So the ones that you gave me for the day.
Yeah, but I need them.
Okay.
So-
You took it upstairs.
Okay, I'll grab it. It'll work. Like I said, I took
Now, this is the great thing. This is what happens here in 2022. Actually, no, that's actually the thing that I want you guys out there. Just need to sit over a little bit for a little bit more, and then as we go through the show, like I've never watched this guy before. It actually was a thing that was ended up happening with one of my cousins a long time ago. He said, "Yeah, the only way to go and beat this is a big, huge, thick steak, and you just burn." You just high heat, you just burn it, and you stick it off to the side, and you just let it sort of just heat up all the way through. You let your rest of your potatoes and your vegetables, you put them on it time and time again as they go through. And so the thing out of this is that, well, I've done this before, and I've never done it on this cheap Kmart or Walmart barbecue, and it's got such unheated heat. And I don't know why does everything get made so crappily today? Like I had barbecues before that, like I've never had a cover on them for like those 10, 15 years. They never rusted out. They never like burned. They never disintegrated. The hoses were all still good. These things are now. This even together has been 11, so say probably 12 to 15. But okay, so yeah, there you go. You heard it from her. But I've gone to 5 barbecues already, and unbelievable. So, I stood up with the legs quite yesterday, and but this is another thing that we've been talking about: rising prices. So I can't even. Okay, I think I even showed you what it was. It was like $63 for 2 steaks. And if you're living in the States, you go, what? $63 for 2 steaks? You get the butcher, you get the sauce, you know, you do in the restaurant. Well,
Well, we're just gonna have to go to the camera because I can't find all the pieces.
okay, there.
Right there, but I can't find them in looking anywhere.
I can try again and using my other headphones just to be a little bit quieter. But
That's okay. At least we can hear you. Try
yeah.
these ones. Try these ones.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. This is you people out there, but I don't know if you guys listen to comments, stuff like that, but this is the crazy thing about technology. Things were simple. Like even when I used to play with my brothers in the band and stuff like that, you know what? You just plug the microphone in into an amplifier and it plays. Everything has to be symbiotically matched and paired, and this part doesn't work with that because the technology advanced.
I got a pair upstairs.
It just is unbelievable.
Because there's no headphone jack.
Right. Oh, that's the new part there. Yeah, iPhone 12 never don't have any headphone jacks. But thing is, though, is that that's crazy. If you're figuring this out there, when you come to Christmas presents, or maybe you might have bought some of those Christmas presents yourself, and you might have gotten them for your friends or your kids, sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, and that, and then all of a sudden they're going, hey, well, there's no batteries. Oh, well, it's an electronic battery that you have to plug into this device, but you need this adapter. And then you use the adapter, and you go back to get the adapter, and the adapter costs more than the actual toy.
There. Now, can you hear me? I think somebody must have hit when they grabbed my phone, turned the mic off. Can you hear us now? I'm sure you can hear us fine now, right? Because the mic button was muted.
I can hear her. I need to use my
Can
old
hear you
headphones.
before through, Lori, but Mike, yeah, because I think when I transferred the phone to him, we've been having a heck of a time. Now, when
Okay,
he's
leave
been
it
on
here, then let me
here,
get my other one on.
he's going to put his old headphones on and see if that will work because we are having
Okay,
one.
move. Yeah, I can't.
Okay, go
Because
ahead.
it's going to be.
I'm getting out of your
Real.
way here. I think you hit the show here. I'm going to go upstairs. He's going to come back in and see if he put. That's why we just went live, but we didn't know that his headphones were going to sound like a chipmunk no matter what he did. He's tried about 3 different pairs of Bluetooth. So how was your New Year's? Happy New Year's. I guess it's January 2nd over there already, right? I'm going to plug in over here. So we just decided to go live because it's cold, nothing's open, and yeah, we decided that we would do a special New Year's broadcast. Here, let me plug this in. Hopefully, that's why I was downstairs with him, because I was hoping that if I helped him with this, that we'd be able to. Let's see, Deli?
Yep, I'm here.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hang on, I'll try the other headphone.
All right.
And it's hot there. Geez, I wish. Like Del said, it was minus 27 degrees Celsius here. Yeah, we can't hear Del at all. We'll see. I don't know, Michelle, can you hear him?
Hopefully you guys can hear me.
You can hear
all of
Del
you.
will be
Awesome.
talking. I'll have no idea what he's saying.
So you guys missed the big story of the steak debacle. That's what's sort of sad, because that was such a great a great story, but doesn't matter. that's what's the fun of the new year. And you know what, this is a crazy predicament there that we've been dealing with, right, Laura? Is technology not being compatible? You figure with all these smart people out there that all technology would be compatible.
Can you talk?
Yep, I can hear you again there. Yeah. Do you figure that this is such a poor excuse? I have no idea why you
can hear him properly, but it does not come through properly. I'm going to have to go downstairs with you, Del, because I can't hear you.
Oh, God. Okay.
Doesn't matter what it is. Okay,
the
that's
ghost
perfect.
in the machine.
Oh, it was. It was. Try now, Del. Talk.
I can hear you.
No, I'm going to have to come downstairs with you because I can't hear you.
Okay.
It's not you, Del, because Michelle said, oh, thank you, Stuart. It's coming through really slow for me. So let me see if I try unplugging this.
Stuart says you look cute.
Del?
Now you sound like in an echo.
I'm going to have to come downstairs. Sorry, guys.
Okay, you do what you need to do there, Laura.
Downstairs. So hopefully the audio won't screw up because I'm the one that started the broadcast. So that's what's going to have to happen.
Are you missing this piece, maybe? Actually, I can hear her louder coming down the stairs than I can hear her across here. Yep, this has been an ongoing thing there. I'm not sure what's going on with this.
People can hear us, but we can't hear each other. Hi, Stuart. Happy New Year.
Well, you got your phone on.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, but put your audio on.
Mic off.
No, put your video.
I can't, Del.
Why?
Because I started the broadcast.
Yeah, but your video is off.
I want it off. I'm going to be on here with you.
Why can't you have that video on there? Will it show up 2 pictures? We'll just...
No.
No?
I'll try. I don't know. You're on there. Hang on.
Okay.
Stay there. Hang on. I'll try it again.
See if it'll...
You guys, this is crazy. Welcome to New Year's 2022.
Right? Isn't it funny that it's her show. She put this all on hers, and I'm running the show through my phone. But look at There she is. Look at this.
Okay,
Bing,
so now
bing,
can you hear
bing,
me? If I'm
bing.
on my camera, can you hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you because
Can
you're
you hear
talking
me?
right
Because I'm
beside
right
me.
beside you.
Look at this. I'm pointing this way, and she's right there on
Yes,
this. Oh no,
I'm
this
right here.
camera.
I'm right here.
she's she's right
Okay,
here,
this is
but
what we're
on
gonna
the
do.
show
So you
she's
guys
right
can see us
there.
and we can hear each other. We can hear each other.
Oh yeah, she's picking my nose. Awesome.
I was asking people when you were telling me about your
Can
cooking.
can people out there hear you
Yes,
now?
Michelle said yes.
Okay,
So,
so can I take these earphones out because you're yelling beside
yes,
me?
you can take them out.
Okay.
Because I was going to say, he was telling you all about uh,
Swiss
sauce.
This is better than we say here. So I go her over there, or I go that one
Yeah,
her.
yeah, I got to go this way. Sorry.
Here,
Yeah, no, it's still backwards.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bring Hey You in.
Yeah, there's Hey You. I made Hey You.
He's going. I love this mess of 2022. We're bringing it down. That's why I'm here. Because Hey You is a little guy, and they like to cause a lot of mischief.
Oh, I meant to highlight that. I'm telling you guys, nothing is working properly here. Watch, I've disappeared
Here
again.
we go back into here.
I'll
Okay,
be
now
back. We never have these problems ever.
Here, we'll get a sort of semi
There.
there.
No, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
I meant to highlight Michelle.
Semi.
She asked, want some cotton wool, meaning cotton balls for your ears.
Oh yes.
Happy New Year to you too, Stuart. How was your New Year's? Did you make any New Year's resolutions? What's your plans for 2022? We're going to talk about some ideas maybe for 2022, what we think might be happening.
And if you all missed that great cooking tip that I was giving you there, I'm not sure if you guys all heard it. Tell me if you heard it there. Oh, you missed it. Did you at least see the video? Anybody out there, Michelle? Did you guys see the video and I showed you the steaks?
The half a cow that I probably will.
Please tell me, because otherwise I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to show you and replay it again there.
And we haven't been drinking either, by the way.
I have.
Well, he's had a couple of beers. I haven't been drinking, so not yet. I had some Fireball from Christmas. No, she didn't hear. She said we had no power internet over New Year's. No way.
No. Did you see the video there when I was showing the stuff?
No, she didn't. And then she said, no, we had no power. She said as well. That sucks. So did they find out why, Michelle, that you guys didn't? Or is this just part of... I have to be with you.
Why? You're on that camera, I'm on that camera.
I don't want to use my audio because it's going to get...
Okay.
It's going to get...
Okay, look at this. We're walking through.
It's okay. I'm on the camera.
We're on this camera too. We're getting like dual vision. This is actually, you know what? When Joe gets mad about this stuff, that two people on the same camera, but we got like almost more than that. Yeah, we do. Yeah, great. Okay, so this is what I was showing you guys all.
Okay, so Stuart, you're going to see it. You mentioned half a cow here. I'm not even going to fight it probably.
Boom, that's one. These are all. Here's the second one. This is what we're supposed to cook for New Year's.
How cold it was?
Minus 27 degrees Celsius. And my barbecue was stirring. And plus it was too tight to eat it. And this is what I was saying about the prices of going up here. Two steaks like this. And there is a thing on it. 63 bucks. Right?
For half a cow.
Triple A fried steak, fried rib steak, 63 bucks. So that was $33 a kilogram. But super expensive. So, but since I work at a market, best place ever, eh?
Yes, Sturgis Market. What are we drinking? I'm drinking right now Rockstar, so I can stay awake, but I will be adding some Fireball. Del, we're not supposed to put alcohol on. We can drink.
I'm supporting the Labatt Blue brewery.
Just so you don't know, Stuart, where are you from? We know Michelle is from Australia. We're from Canada, but we're broadcasting out of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah.
So, how about you guys? Are you guys drinking? No, Michelle, I'm waiting to see what Stuart has to say. Michelle, you said equipment failure, a lot were affected. Now, is this a equipment failure or was it actually an equipment failure? So, as we know, the craziness that's happening here in the world around
Oh, there we
here,
go.
and
Now we can find out what's
now
going
we
on.
found out that somebody, when I posted this, said, "Hey, I'll be your guest tonight." So Dell said to me, "Did you invite anybody to be in the show?" "Oh, you're from Mars Hill, Maine. Well, welcome." I don't think I've ever heard of Mars Hill. Have you?
Nope.
No, that's our Christmas tree, yes. And we've been invaded by gnomes. So we have lots of gnomes. It was a gnome Christmas. So you think it was the equipment? Okay. Because, so what do you guys think? What do you think is going to happen in 2022? Do you think we're going to have an improvement? Do you think we're going to kind of reach the pinnacle of what's happening here and get some new, let's say, go back to some sort of semblance to how things were from 2 years ago? You said Marcel, Maine, too far from Canada. Oh, it's been hot. Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, and it's been cold here.
You'd be surprised, Stuart, because Dell's been all over the U.S., especially when it comes to concerts. I've been to quite a few places in the U.S. We live about 35, 40 minutes away from the Minnesota border, actually.
Northern border.
And when we could cross over the border, we would see more people. If we went to, say, Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Duluth, Minnesota, we would probably run into, God, how many people would we know from our city? Probably.
Yeah, well, that was the thing there is that even back when I was playing hockey, back when I was younger, is all through the winter time, everybody from Thunder Bay, Canada, and places all went down to tournaments because there was tournaments in Duluth, Superior, Duluth, Minnesota, Superior, Wisconsin, right there on the edge of Superior, because we're on the edge of Superior, Lake Superior, the biggest freshwater lake in North America, and we go down there, and there was a time there back in that's got to be like the early 80s, yeah, because or even before that, late 70s, or no, late early 80s, and Americans were mad at Canadians coming doing cross-border shopping, and they were slashing Canadian tires. We had to go and hide license plates, even though bringing a lot of money and hotel use into there and buying a lot of stuff there, but local people were like mad at Canadians coming over the border for the cheaper prices. And this was not reciprocated the same way because a lot of Americans came over to Canada to get all the lumber and construction materials and bring them all back there because they were getting it 1/3 the price that they were paying in the States.
What happened to me at that time, and Dell's very much right about that. My first husband and I think we were just going out at the time. We went for a holiday weekend to Duluth, Minnesota, which is about 3 hours away south of us. We live in Thunder Bay in northwestern Ontario, in Canada, on Lake Superior. And luckily, driving back, I mean, we could have been killed, but I had a Firebird at the time. And just as we were coming into the city,
that's a Pontiac Firebird.
Tires started wobbling. It was making a horrible
like a Trans Am or Camaro.
Thank God I pulled over, and somebody had loosened all the lug nuts on my tires. And this was happening to lots of people. People getting into accidents, all kinds of things because they didn't want Canadians coming over, like you said, because they felt that the prices were being raised because of the tourism.
Right. Well, we used to call it there when we were going down there, the Target. We used to call it the Target, right? It was like the French Target. Go down there because you go down. You're paying at the time when if people remember back then when there was CD players and you get CDs and you're paying $28 for a CD up here and you're getting them for $4.99 down at the Target in the States, and during the wintertime, and we just go there and just like buy stuff, clothing, food. There was so many other options you can there. You got to understand there too is that alcohol too, well back then, well, I was like, what, 11, 12, 13, but alcohol in the States always been like, even when we used to come back to Rockfest, I used to go to Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin, and 4-day concert, VIP, all that stuff there. cheaper than whatever, but we'd go there and we'd load up as soon as we went to the States because a 66er of vodka in the States was $13.
66 ounce.
The largest bottle that you have there, which is 66 ounces of vodka, $13. Sometimes you get it $9.99 in the States at the Hammond in Wisconsin. As soon as you cross over the bridge, here in Canada is $80. And even with the exchange rate, it's still 10 times cheaper almost
How much
down
are
there.
cigarettes? I don't know because I buy them.
I just bought a pack
How
there
much is a pack of cigarettes?
for the cheapest brand that is from whatever it cost me, $13 Canadian.
But they're almost $19 a package.
For name brands, for 25 in a package. If the 20 packs are a little bit cheaper, you can get them for $11.40 for a no name brand.
Everything's, and then you get people that believe that healthcare is free in Canada.
It's
and
all taxes.
my friends that I have spoken to that I have in the United States, and they'll say, well, we have to pay for this, well, we have to pay for that, well, we have to have extra insurance, but guess what?
Watch, we'll double it up here.
Do we have
A
to
double
pay for
shot.
a lot, and the taxes that we pay are crazy. Like you guys, all your alcohol and liquor, not that we're alcoholics, we're not, but that's one of the big things that are taxed here is that in here, like alcohol, there's huge taxes put on it, cigarettes, anything like that. Michelle, my partner smokes drum 50 grams at 120 US dollars. I'm not sure what that is.
Is that the folded, he rolls his own?
Yeah, does he roll his own, maybe, Michelle? Owns, I can't even talk own. Where I get cigarettes from is we have
The mission,
a
the
First
rest.
Nations Indigenous reservation about 10 minutes up the
On
highway.
2 there. I just gotta go run over and
Okay, great. Okay, he has to run over and check something, so I'll go in here. So we, to go there, there's no tax on anything, and like a whole carton of cigarettes there, about $30. And like I said, it's $19 a package here. So you can see how much the taxes are added on there. So what do you guys think is good? Like I saw Michelle, so I didn't get to mention that you believe this is all going to stop in March. You and I are friends off of air. And I agree with you, Stuart. You may have joined in a little bit later. You didn't miss much with all the craziness with the audio. I'm a psychic medium. I'm also a crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic records practitioner. I'm a spiritual teacher and mentor, and I'm also a nurse. And various people that I know throughout various different circles that I, chat with, that different podcasts I'm on and stuff. That seems to be the feeling that we're going to go through some pretty tough stuff towards the end. People are believing around the end of February, sometime in March, that things are going to shift. And I'd love to hear what people's thoughts are. Like I said, Michelle, you feel March, and is that just what you're feeling intuitively? Are you seeing signs in Australia that things are starting to crumble, the truth is coming out, or what's your thoughts on things like that? Same as you, Stuart, with me. How are you feeling there? What's your thoughts? What are you seeing? Because I do know I have quite a few friends in the US. And depending on where you live, especially I find the further south that you go, that things seem to be much more back to the old way of things from 2 years prior than what they are sort of in the rest of the world. And we're not seeing, somebody just put together a great video, and there had to be people in the millions. Every major city in the world, in Europe, in Asia, not China, obviously, we wouldn't see the videos, but we're talking Japan, we're talking India, we're talking every country in, like I said, in Europe, some of the places in the bigger cities in Canada and the US, the protests are massive. Like some people had to be in the millions. Michelle, beautiful soul also. Thank you, Michelle. You said, yes, been feeling that for a while. We still have a rocky road. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't fall, you've had COVID, but you got over it. I'm so glad to hear that, Stuart, that you were able to make it through. I actually believe Della and I had it a couple months ago. Now, again, I don't prescribe, I don't tell people what to do, but with having a medical background and research, I think I've come up with a concoction, if you will, of various sort of natural supplements I would never say that it doesn't exist. Something is out there that is causing the illnesses that it is. I think we could overcome it. I was just having this conversation. I forget where it was. It was on the weekend with somebody, and I was saying that, and that's where it was. I was on a podcast out of South Korea um, with Jackie Ryder, and I wasn't planning on it. It was Christmas Eve morning, and it was on for about 3 or 4 hours. And I was saying that I believe, this could be over if we all just stood up and said, okay, enough is enough. Now, again, this is just my opinion, but I don't know how I've been using this message on my show for months now that we need to almost, I feel, put our differences aside and stand together because we are losing a lot of our freedoms. We're losing, creating a lot of division. And, I just really think we're all stronger together. And if we could really just do that. And I don't know what the answer is to wake up people that are still asleep. I have to come with you. So
Okay,
going,
look at this.
that means I have to put a jacket on.
No, you got to sit at the door.
I just have to, well, I'm going to have to put a
Yeah,
jacket on. There's
look at that.
stuff on
I
it.
finally got the barbecue started.
Okay. That's barbecue started with, what's the temperature out there now?
It's minus 22.
It's been so beautiful out here for this time of year in Canada. And like I was sitting on the front steps today. I had a winter jacket on, but once that sun goes down, holy crap, the cold is catching up with us. You'll be right back. Yeah, fear
Okay,
stops
watch
a lot
this.
of people. I have to agree.
Show the
Michelle.
sock.
Oh yes, Deli socks he got from Santa. What does that say again? If you can read this, he's coming along here. Bring me a beer. Yes, it was beer mist this year at Christmas. Deli got Santa Claus. Santa Claus brought pajamas that say, what were they called?
Beer dog.
No, Brewed-Off.
Brewed-Off.
Brewed-Off. Brewed-Off with little Brewed-Off beer cans. He got a Rick and Morty sweatshirt because we love Rick and Morty and things like that. So, was Santa good to you guys? Did you guys have a good Christmas too? We didn't even ask that, did we?
Okay, so I'll keep her over there, which is on the.
Okay,
that
you're
side.
back. Okay, you didn't miss much. Emmy says Happy New Year. Where are you, doggy? Say Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yep.
Okay, and
You're not missing anything.
Don't spill that.
She thinks mom is talking to her, so that's why she's over here.
Okay, pillow.
You have to go to your pillow. Go to your pillow. No, it's not cuddle time. That's what happens when you have a giant dog. They knock you over. No, watch that giant tail. This dog has a tail the size of her body. I have never seen a dog with a tail that long. Okay, Deli's got her moving.
Yeah.
Get go to your pillow. Good girl. Lay down. Good girl. Yeah, now she's laying down. So listen to Dad. I'm not too scary. Sister said, yes, I did have a good Christmas. I got a laptop. I got a key to meter. What should I got two of them. I'm not sure I got a key to meter, what that is, but laptop, that's cool.
Oh, geez, a K2 meter.
That's K2 meter. Got you. Good thing Dell picked that up. So you were from the paranormal world.
Yeah,
so I don't
know. Keep your knees back.
I don't know. Well, wherever you go, I have to go with you. I have to take audio.
I'm gonna stay. This is gonna stay here, and I'm gonna run in and out. Yeah.
Because Stuart, I don't know if we've met you before, but actually Dell and I are very well versed in the paranormal. The house that we lived in for the past 11 plus years before we moved here.
Yep.
Was extremely, extremely haunted. We've actually shared our story on Paranormal Survivor, season 4, episode 9, called Demonic Hauntings. And let me tell you what a story it is. It's crazy. So, we were putting come show you the potatoes.
Potatoes, and I'm not to show you about doing potatoes, but they're wrapped in tin foil.
Yeah, we have quite the pictures. Actually, I didn't even put our background up. I meant to, and I got busy here with all our technical issues. But yeah, we've got quite the pictures. It wasn't just ourselves that experienced the activity. It was also other people on the internet. I've been podcasting for a while. There's many shows where there were EVPs that had come through. Dell's been thrown 15 feet across our old kitchen. It was just crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm guessing with the K2 meter, like I said, you do paranormal investigations. Have you picked up anything cool? Any cool EVPs? How about some pictures, video, anything like that? Michelle, you say it's morning there and hot. Yeah, you're real lucky with that heat, I'll tell you. So I don't know. I guess if you're always used to Christmas with it not having snow, didn't you say when I filmed, because we had a snowstorm, that you had never seen snow before? Wasn't that you, Michelle? Okay, Stuart, you said if you want to add me on Facebook, I'm going to give you my name and my profile picture has an alien and a Bigfoot together. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Send me a friend request. That's great. I also have a group on Facebook, Paranormal University. We've got quite a diverse group from all over the world from the paranormal. So, and we're lucky with that cold. You've never seen snow. Well, it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful when it falls because usually it's not super cold when it snows. And I'm sure, Stuart, you get cold in Maine, unless I guess, like you said, you're further away from Canada. But I know Maine isn't like down in the south of the U.S. Um, it's a beautiful thing to see, but I'll tell you, and I can't shovel it with my back. It is a biatch to shovel. Jelly can tell you that.
$6.99 for a small little tin of crab.
Here we go, crab. And yeah, I can tell you, I'm not a big eater. I will probably have like one or two bites of that half a cow that we're having. This should be interesting. So, no dog. Yeah, of course. When Dad leaves, this dog, nobody's afraid of me in this house. I always say. So as soon as Dad leaves, the puppy comes back. It's like, what did you call? So I don't know. Like I say, we've had a really nice winter. Actually, I can say over the last probably 3 winters, we've had a beautiful winter. It's not been minus 50 below with the wind chill, knock on wood, or anything like that. So you don't eat seafood. Well, you'd go without crab. I like crab actually. I don't like fish, but I like seafood. And you must get a lot of seafood, Stuart, being in Maine. I'm guessing you must. So, are you close to the ocean at all, Michelle? And I'd love to hear what's going on, like I said, in your neck of the woods, you guys. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you experiencing? I know Joe Montalvo, who owns the network, and he also produces us many of the time. He kind of taught us how to produce ourselves. You don't eat seafood either. Well, there we go. Two people that don't eat seafood. You're about 1.5 hours drive. That's not too bad. Anyways, as I said with Joe Montalvo, who owns United Public Radio Network, we've talked about this many times on air, that it almost seems like you need to go to another country's newspapers, videos, online news to find out what's going on in your own country. So interesting to see. Now, I have no proof of this, but there is somebody from Canada here who's been blocked. He said 6 ways to Sunday recently. His first name is Chris, and I'll spell his last name, so his real name, but just because we're on YouTube and everywhere else, it's SKY. He claims he's been blocked everywhere. Now, he claims that we will be having a major LOCKEOWN, regardless of what your jab status is, in the next couple of weeks. And we'll see what happens. He says it's to force the third jab. Now, he's not always correct. He's been right about a lot of things. So I guess we'll see what happens. And again, don't take that as gospel. I'm just sharing about, because a lot of people send me videos from wherever they are all over the world, and then I try and share them with people too. That's how we seem to get news across. Are you cooking? No, I gotta follow you.
No, you can stay right there. I think we got good for 10 feet there, babe.
No, you're not. You won't hear me. So we need headphones.
Just do what I'm doing there. So, potatoes are on the barbecue. And this is the worst thing that happened here this year is that I totally forgot about my kids oil. Thankfully, our neighbor gave us some kids oil. That's why it's stuff wrapped up. But asparagus wrapped up. That's in the fridge right here.
go ahead too, Stuart. No problem. And nice to see you in here. Happy New Year. I will share this quick story though. They worked with the tourism office, and apparently they had kept three bodies that had had an autopsy done in Toronto, and then they were preparing the bodies for burial. So when they opened up the bodies, they said it was my doppelganger, my absolute twin, identical. And they've known me, and apparently when they nobody else obviously was wanting me when they were working, they pulled out my Facebook profile, and the person said, "Oh, well, she really looks like Ray in those pictures." And the person said, "That's not who you in there." So apparently I have a doppelganger that looks very much like me, and then unfortunately, I didn't actually find out there was a homosexuality in the people who were in it. I can't even imagine. Now, you said you go to, you're just about ready to throw your steaks on. So when are you ready to throw your steaks on?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes, alrighty. Well, if there's other guys out there, and we've got more people watching, come over and join us because, like I said, we can't always see Facebook. Now, the reason I can see Stuart, he has to be at the Next Public Radio Network Facebook page. So if you're a member on there, if you haven't, feel free to join there. It takes 2 seconds. Please look at the comments over there. Because everybody loves to hear talks about what's going on in your neck of the woods, how your holidays were, Santa's good to you, um, any New Year's resolutions.
This is the, and I'll say this is the cheapest way to go and cook here when you don't get fresh. You can use canned, and I've been using canned crab and mushrooms by
No, that's no cookie show.
but this, oh, if I was gonna do this in one there period, it would have been pork and beans with mashed potatoes and these steaks. And I just would have that would have been steak and potatoes with pork and beans, and that would have been awesome. That's total camp food, especially if you get ice switchers out there. You need heavy, hot, warm things. Well, tell them about my meatloaf. My meatloaf is
Yes, I'm not a meatloaf eater, and I also have never liked it either. But no, that salad you missed out. I was going to talk to you, but that's overkill. So you had the meatloaf instead, and apparently it was just
and
really good.
apparently it was for real.
Yeah, but your dad never made it for me.
Oh no, my dad was dead before he knew about it.
I know your dad was. Dell and I are not related through marriage in that respect. So I've known his dad his whole entire life, but his dad never made me meatloaf. Oh, this is some college love. Yeah, and that is true, especially in camp. That happens, doesn't it? So we should have eaten this last night, like we said, but this was all Dell's plan that we're going to take this on the barbecue and we're going to end it. And we just thought we'd hang out with you guys because, like I said, most people are going to be closed. So much love in Australia. The sun is out this morning. Um, but if you're over in most parts of the world too, there, depending where you live, some of them are heading into evening. And it's pretty well closed. So we thought, hey, we'll hang out with you guys and see what's up. So, given your holidays were nice.
It is 82 cents a can.
So, oh my goodness, are we having Dell's grocery shopping comparison here with this stuff?
This is the recycling.
Absolutely is. Actually, I was having an interesting conversation with my neighbor. Well, she was really good to us. She, we love our new neighbors. And her whole house, she seemed like the whole neighborhood was like us. It was evil in that area. And I was talking to her today, and just a little bit about prepping, because Del and I talked about that from time to time on our shows that we do together. And she's like, "Oh, it's just gonna be with Christie's." I said, "Yeah, I guess, but it's just for fresh water and canned goods and things like that." And then she brought up an interesting thing, and I was such a human out there. She said that one of her relatives, and it was long before the biggest debacle in this whole produce, had so much toilet paper stored away that he can't use the toilet paper. And I said, "What is that with most men? Like they have to have toilet paper." And men sometimes have.
They need toilet paper?
Yeah, why men? No matter where they go, they men are late.
I thought it was only women who need toilet paper.
Every time we went to drop them, anytime they got a
thing about toilet, I'll tell you about the thing about toilet paper is that when you're partying all weekend and stuff like that, and you need to go, and there's nothing around because men are slobs when they go to the bathroom, you need something clean to at least wipe that dirty spot. Because if you're in the bush, you can use a leaf. But when you're around other people there, who needs a stanky, stanky owl? Is that my best tip for early or what? I've carried brown rolls. Hey, if you're on the road, and, well, you never worked construction, right? And then you're going down the road and you drank some really bad water or did something or ate some really bad food in some really dive gas station place there, and all of a sudden there's no gas station for about 80 kilometers or 50 miles, and you're like, oh, what are you gonna wipe that with your hand? Like, oh, that's why I always carry toilet paper everywhere. But that's if you work construction. Yeah, my New Year's resolution is not to have New Year's resolutions because none of them ever get fulfilled. Why did that happen? So we've been together for what, 16 years now? 16 years and it's never happened. Yes, I did. See, when I clean, I do it efficiently and quickly, and it's done properly, and it's done quickly. When she cleans, the vacuum cleaner goes on for 4 hours. How long does it take to clean a rug that's 8 by 8? Not 4 hours. It takes 20 seconds. And that's why the machine is built like that. It's got spinning little wheels and we close up everything. Go over it twice. Maybe it takes you 40 seconds. Not 3 hours. Why do you need so many towels in the bathroom? You don't need that many towels. Why? Who are the guest towels for? If you have no guests. And when the guests show up, you tell them not to use those towels. What? That guy was off a Ray Romano thing there. Yeah, we got all these guest towels there. Like, what am I supposed to wipe my hands on? Oh, your shirt. Oh. Hey, this is another thing there. Those shell soaps, those small little mini soaps that sit in the dish that no one's allowed to use. Why the hell are those things for except to collect dust? And then you worry about cleanliness, and you got all this crap that collects dust that nobody can use. Make it efficient. You want cleanly, boom. Make the thing in concrete and make it concrete. Pressure wash the whole thing after everyone's done, and you're done. Well, that's a walk thing. Yeah. Trends this year. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to go and say, you know what, we're tired of what's going on in the States. We're tired of all these what's going on in Canada. We're just tired. And they're going to say, you know what, no more. And then I think there might be a little bit of pushback from later on. I think the way the talk is going there right now in the U.S., coming towards they're the way the talk is going with the next election part that's going on is that it's looking at the House of Senate is going to totally change, which is going to be really interesting when it comes to what this no 2022. Yeah, well, look how fast this year went. This year went quickly, and people, I don't know, you're going to find a lot of stuff. I think a lot of blowback is going to happen there when people are finding out when their pension money isn't coming through for them. They're going to find out when they didn't work and what there's allocated to them, and but it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see how people vote the next time around. Because I think people are starting to. I don't like the word woke. I hate the word woke. Saying that I think you're going to see a different version of woke. Yeah, where people are actually going to be woke up when they look at when their tax time comes up this year. Because in Canada, tax time comes up when March. That no, no, March is the starting. Yeah, and they're going to go like this and says, "Oh, well, what is the government mandate on us that changed everything that they can't do anymore, and they still can't do?"
Let me know if you can hear me now. If you can hear me now, I'll stay over here because we've had major audio issues. That's why we did what we could. And everybody else seemed to hear us. So let us know over on Twitch if you can hear us now. We just didn't want, we couldn't hear each other. The audio was sounding like chipmunks. We tried everything. We even started late as it was. So thank you. Let us know if you can still hear us on Detail 12 over on Twitch. So your thoughts are that you think there's going to be major wokeism happening, but a different type of woke than what we're having?
Yeah, they've already seen that happen right now.
Okay, so this is going to sound crazy. I could call this a conspiracy theory. But what about the talk? Now, there was a video out there. I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but it was about somebody from the US military stating that they're planning an alien invasion of the world.
Right. Well, that's the big huge other plan. You talked about disclosure, right?
Right.
This is the whole thing. I've talked about this many times about this magic act that the government wants to do to take things away. They already had that happen with Jussie Smollett. They had it happen with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. So you have to when the news, which is a big, huge propaganda issue, starts focusing on stories that are not what everybody is feeling, you have to wonder what else is going on.
Right? Yeah, well, I think we get into what happens is you get into the Wizard of Oz issues, whereas don't notice the little man behind the curtain, pay attention to what's going on over there.
This has to be news.
Okay. So I don't know though, because to now again, anybody, I mean, we always say on your show, my show, shows we do together, Dell, you have to question everything. You really do. You have to use a discerning mind, even from potentially trusted sources you've always trusted with really good resources. I can't hear you, Dell. You said maybe you're too far away from the mic. Thanks to Dell. We appreciate your feedback. Thank you. That's what I was trying to tell Dell was it's not picking up the way it should pick up. So, and like I said, we had major audio issues. Great way to start 2022. Happy New Year, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us on Twitch. Let us know how your Christmas was, how your New Year's was. Do you have any resolutions? Do you make any? Or what's your thoughts on what do you think is coming in 2022? That's what we were sort of getting into. That was one thing that did surprise me, Dell, was how quickly they wrapped up the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, and there was very little coverage of it. Not surprised about the lack of coverage, but how quickly they wrapped it up. So what's your thoughts on that? Why do you think they wrapped it up so quickly? Del? I said, you can't even hear me. I said, why do you think they wrapped up the Ghislaine Maxwell trial so quickly? I said there was very little, media coverage on it, which I'm not surprised. And then there was so much redacted, the names and stuff that was in the evidence. So, what do you think? Why was that done so quickly? Why do you think it had to be wrapped up before the media they wanted this done?
Well, because the files. This is what the. Why do you think that there is no sentencing done? Same thing with Jesse Smollett. Why they're waiting the sentencing to go till the next year, right?
They said January. Once it goes to January.
Right, but anytime, like I had to deal with the court, and I was sentenced right away as soon as the verdict was in. Now with him, it's going into the next year. With Lane Maxwell, next year. Excuse me. But the thing is, that out of this is that you have to worry about for the people that are in place of the power, what is the document that they was revealed during the I got pepper. They got pepper. I didn't know what food on the dog. But
Okay, so what was that?
who was revealed during the court case with Ghislaine Maxwell was came out here because there's a huge file that's been something 165 people. Now these could be heads of state, music producers, everything else, people that are in the tech industry. Yeah, but everything was opened up during the court case. So now they're talking about, they said one article that she, out of 5 of the 6 charges which she was found guilty on, that she could face up to 65 years. And if they go and let the charges go through that she's getting there, if they go and prosecute all the people that were named through that, this is going to have the court probably for about another 5 to 10 years, and this would probably be an overthrow of government. And this is something the OSF, and if people don't know who the OSF is run by.
So my whole point is that we talked about.
I'm not a fan of these people.
No, I know you're not. Okay, so I sent you a video because you said when we did a show Thursday, you hadn't seen the video yet. Now, I'm not trying to cause a political argument here. This has to stop. Okay, so we both agree that Donald Trump is better than the grandpa Raptor, we'll call him.
Yeah.
Okay, and that we'll call him that he definitely did a lot of good for the U.S. But I have major concerns with what had just happened 2 weekends ago, December 19th. He was touring around with Bill O'Reilly, and he was talking about getting the booster and what a great idea, and everybody needs to do it. And it just didn't seem to go along with the narrative of what he seemed to be supporting or what people's beliefs were and who he was and what he represented. And I sent the video to you. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but my whole point was when you start digging and you start looking, and especially when you look into the work of Dr. David Martin, who's funded the patent with all the patent offices, and to see the amount of executive orders that have been signed, registered to we'll call him, and things that were put in place that helped everything fall into place in the last 2 years. We both agree that we don't need to waste another brain on the same bird, really, right? There's a lot of people are expensive. This would be a great
done was that when Epstein and Maxwell started going hitting on people that were in his circle, Trump kicked him out and basically banned him when he found out what he was doing. We can't say for certain what might have happened pre to that time of the kick out where he stopped being there, and there's a part about that. But people that continued on after the Trump thing was the guy that runs Microsoft and the guy that is involved with Fauci and vaccines in third world countries, and another person that was involved with that, with all those people, big wig people, basically all of Silicon Valley, and anybody that was involved in new technologies, Fauci, dealing with health concerns, and that's a fact. You can look that up anywhere on the internet, and you can find that out. When you put the pieces together, and there's people out there, Whitney Webb is a really great person out there that actually did a lot of stuff there with doing research, and a lot of people want to dismiss the Mint Press News and Whitney Webb and stuff like that, but she did research in this. That's why she's living in a third world country, because if she would live in the U.S. right now, she would be thrown in jail just like Julian Assange. I'm not saying Julian Assange was a great person there, but you know what? Out of the thing there is when he goes and tells somebody, hey, can you get any more information that you want to expose criminals, exactly what the CIA, FBI, the government does, he gets thrown into jail and gets kicked out of the country. So you have to ask this question. And what do we do on my show? And why do we ask questions?
I'm all going to say is search for the truth. You throw everything into the pot, you stir it all up, and you see what comes out.
Correct. Yep. And that's the biggest thing. And you know what? Don't take my stuff. These are just thoughts and parts of the questions that go out there asking. And you should be asking these questions yourself. When you wonder why you're paying in the U.S. now $5 for a gallon of gas, when you were paying a year ago before Biden got in there just over $1, why?
Or when Biden said he was going to end this all, he's going to fix it all.
He had the solution.
He had the whole solution that was all going to be done. So, like I said, I think the main solution is, and we found this over Christmas, people that we thought maybe might not ever really wake up. We're actually starting to ask them questions, and they're asking questions because they've been compliant little soldiers, and then what was asked of them, and now they're finding that that's not good enough, that they're having to go out and keep getting more and more and more and more.
And then you have to wonder why soldiers and essential service people across the U.S. and Canada are going, hey, the information that's coming out of mainstream media is not the truth.
Yo.
There's your 2022 January 1st bomb for you.
Yep. I hate to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to trust us. All we say is to take a look. Take a look for yourself. Don't just turn on your TV and say that that's your only source of news. That's all we ever. His show, my show, The Angel Rock. I don't think I ever did mention it. I cover all aspects of the. I'm sorry, I was reading your comment. Just give me a sec. The supernatural. Cover anything from the paranormal, UFOs to aliens to truth seeking. I also cover power of the mind, power of positivity, how to access your gifts, and so on and so forth. How are you able to stream to point of views? This is through Streamlabs. Yes, it is through StreamYard. We live in the same house, but I will tell you, I don't know how to say the short form, VO512 AM. If you look on YouTube, there are many videos on there to show you how to stream 2 points of view. So, Laura is very dark, can hardly see her. Yes, you can hardly see me because I have moved into where Jelly was. Now you can see me, right? Can you see me? Here I am. Yeah, so if you want to know how to do that.
And I'm wearing safety colors there because it's so cold. I gotta keep safe from the coldness outside. Oh, geez, it went off again?
I don't know. Can you hear me? You'll have to let me know.
Maybe you have to go talk to my phone.
I don't know. They just said now you have no sound. So we'll have to see. If we don't, maybe that's a good time that we have to end this. We had nothing but problems trying to stream live. We never have these problems when we know how to produce shows. We know which ones to network and which ones to radio network. I have a live show Monday night. Del has a live show Thursday night. So hopefully you can hear one of us or both of us. Del, where'd you take off to? Like you have checking that half the crowd that he's barbecuing. So I don't know, like I said, when he comes in, maybe we'll sign off because I think half our cow is almost ready. I'll turn on the lights for you. We've actually got 2 audios going and videos because we've had so many problems. I think we should probably maybe think about signing off anyways if we do have audio issues because it's the cow's almost ready, isn't it?
Well, I'm just getting the potatoes are partway done, and so the cow will be going on in about 10 minutes.
Oh, well, we can hang in there. I just want to make sure people can hear us.
They did ask people out there, did they see the cow?
You're not showing them the cow again.
I'm so proud of this because I'm so proud of the people that I work with at the market I work at,
Market, local.
and you know what? And everybody there is so great, and I just love what they did, and they were so accommodating. And when I went and asked for something, they went over backwards, right?
Yeah, you really do. You know what? That is one thing we've been saying.
So I should show them the cow again. Okay.
I can't even answer because he's going to show you the cow
Show you
again.
the cow.
Poor Joe, if he checks the stream out, it's going to be like Bell's cooking show. So, yeah, we're having to take off. Oh, so, let's get back to what we were talking about.
Okay.
So, do you think then that there's going to be, let's take this down. Do you think there's going to be a fake alien invasion? We know it's going to be fake. Now, that doesn't mean, though,
No.
if it does happen,
No.
they're going to be using, as we understand it, DEW. If you're not sure what that is, you can look it up.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it's supposed to look very, very real. We've had other things that have looked. He's still saying no sound. I don't know what to do for you. I can try signing out. I'll sign back in, and Deli can try it.
Okay. Can Jadel 12 hear me? Is that? Can you hear me? Just say that they're Jadel.
No sound. So I'm going to try entering back in and see.
Because this we're still on here. Jadel 12, JADELE 12.
No, it says my mic's not working. Oh, now it is. Let's see. Nope, it's still not working.
My mic's on, so. And my volume's up. Yeah, actually, you know what? This could be. You almost have to worry about. Yes. Okay. Jadel says yes. Okay, you can hear me.
You can hear Del. Let me see
Okay.
if I try plugging in here.
No, this could be like a whole joke. Hey, can you hear me? Can you see
Can you hear
me?
me now?
Like
Can you
it's
hear
like
me?
the thing. Nobody home. Nobody home.
Can you hear me?
I'm
Can you hear me
crushing
now?
your head.
Okay, now it's working. It was my phone. I don't know what it is. Here, it's
Working. Now you'll be able to hear me because I did a
The
mic check, but I got to have a headphone in. Go
If
figure.
people don't understand that clip, that's a tribute to Kids in the Hall, Canadian comedy troupe. Anyways, you know all about that, right? Or
Yeah, but let me try taking it because now we're getting feedback again. Let me see.
okay.
Now I can hear you. It's okay. I'll go in here. Yes, Kids in the Hall. That's Canadian. Pretty funny. Check it out. Thank you very much for your feedback too, by the way. We appreciate that because we don't know otherwise. I don't know what is going on because even with Dell with his headphones, first it was sounding like chipmunks, then it was sounding like on super deep Herman Munster voice, super low. And we both have iPhone 12, so I know they're not, it wasn't a new phone or anything. So, so do you think then, you agree that anything's possible this year, then we could end up with a alien invasion?
Okay, well, just after the Jussie Smollett fake thing that happened back in 2018, 2019, just before the pandemic started. Uh, you had Dr. Stephen Greer talk about disclosures coming this year. So that's now 2 years afterwards. You had that he's a knob, anyways. I just find him a knob. That's the guy from Blink 182 and his Something to the Stars Academy, and they were releasing everything. And he had CIA operatives. They were all on CNN, and CNN is the biggest lying network that you're ever going to listen to. And if you want to find out what the news is, whatever they say there is probably the opposite. So them and a lot of others there, but you had all these people from all these bigwig things there. Disclosure, 2020, and never happened. Now we're coming into 2022, 2 years later, no disclosure. And this ends up happening. It's like the climate people. They're saying, hey, yeah, we're going to be flooded in a year and we're going to be 100 feet underwater. And it never, they've been talking about this for 50 years. And actually, I did a show about this 2 years ago about all the wrongs that all the climate people have been saying for 50 years. I went to school for environmental engineering, and I had a big problem with it, with radical people that were in classrooms and stuff like that, thinking that they were healing the world and fixing things. Now you have this Green Deal and Joe Biden and AOC that we have to do all this stuff. I said, yes, we do have to do some things. I think there's environmental impact that we should correct, that things are being done where things have happened, but you cannot go and have a society survive on green energy. It's not going to happen. And the reason it's not going to happen, because all those ships out there on all the goods that you're waiting for will never arrive if they're have to go and push them by oars or by wind. They'll never be there on time. You'll have to be waiting and waiting and waiting. And we are in a technology state right now where things have to be immediate. If you're waiting on green energy to bring a tanker that's full of 5,000 cargo containers across the ocean, Pacific or Atlantic, by wind power, and you need it there so that you can build your next thing there with your wind power and your little sewing machine that you power by hand, and you sew everything by this, and you have no electricity that's done by coal, gas, or anything or whatever. You're going to be waiting forever. And this is the reality that people don't understand. You don't understand. You don't even understand what the waste products of solar panels and these energy batteries have to deal with. You don't understand that. People aren't looking at that. How are you going to get rid of it? They're more toxic than getting rid of a car that can be recycled. Most of a car can be recycled.
What I was going to say was the other thing I'm going to remind people about the new year that's coming through here in North America, and I think it was Michelle that mentioned something's going on in Australia as well with different regulations having to do with their trucking industry, that they are forcing truckers to get the jab. Love and light to you too, Manuel Lopez. Thank you for being here. And there was somebody that was a Canadian trucker that put a video out, and he said even if that's just say 15% of us that can't cross the border, he said it literally would take less than a week. And he said what people don't realize as well is truckers bring everything, like everything that's in your store, a lot of your foods, unless you're a self-sustaining country, and most countries aren't, you're going to be without. And like you were saying too, Del, I think the biggest eye-opener for me when it came to this green energy, because yeah, you buy the narrative. If you watch what's on, mainstream media or TV or whatever, that solar's the way, wind's the way, what have you. I urge you. Well, I don't know what the name of that documentary was that we watched. I'm not done. The one that was about recycling and how little could actually be recycled when we, like we have recycling. We do paper there, we do cans and stuff. Very little of that can be recycled, right?
Yep. Actually, only 3 out of the 9 can be recycled. and most places around the North America can only recycle two out of them,
Mm-hmm.
and those are basically less than 33% of the recyclable materials that are there. There was another show. I love this show, and I actually I like people to watch it because this guy had a really good idea, and I actually was talking with him. It's called Root to Soul. He was taking what he said was a 100% solar powered vehicle from the Arctic Circle all the way down to the tip of South America, and he got stopped along the way and stuff like that, and through problems. But he had to plug into the grid several times, and the first time that he did that, I went and said, "How do you call yourself a 100% solar powered vehicle if you're plugging into the electrical system?" And that makes no sense. But that was the this is the sort of the narrative, and you see people like AOC and these green people. They always put this stuff there forward. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's like this." Yeah, no, you're not thinking the whole thing through. Nobody thinks about the process. They think about, "Oh yeah, solar, great. I think solar is great. I think everybody should be out in the sun more. I think if you were out in the sun more, you got free vitamin D, you'd be a lot healthier than what the CDC is telling you. Because that's the things that it's done for besides solar energy. I think solar energy is a great additive to power that we're having there, so we don't tax the system anymore as our growing population grows. We're at what, 7.6 billion people on the planet, and we just think about North America. You're not even thinking about India and China and Africa, where power problems are there, and there's a lot more people there that are in Canada. Anyways, that's for sure. So I
I
think
think
people
people
need
need
to
to
take
take
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
wider
wider
stance
stance
or
or
wider
wider
bubble
bubble
look
look
at
at the whole world before they start chiming in and what they think that the rest of the population should be doing. I don't know. Maybe that's a good part that I'll say there. I won't talk bad about climate people uh, unless I've tied my shoes twice.
No, but I think you had a good point, Del, with the fact that people don't think about what do you do with all these batteries and everything else once like nothing lasts forever. And then you can get into the free energy. Apparently it exists and like little tiny boxes the size of I don't know, smaller than a shoebox can power up a whole country basically. Are we ever going to see that? I don't know. Part of
Well, that's
Tesla's.
that's a good question there too, because this is a part of a conspiracy theory that's been going around for about 30, 40 years about sucking up energy from just the energy that's being transmitted from these power lines. And I've seen different technologies from certain channels and uh, and internet sites where they've gone and pulled in small little bits of wattage and energy and stuff like that that have been going through transmission lines. And it's sort of interesting. I haven't done the experiment myself, so I cannot say whether it works or not, but it is an interesting part of it. But I've also seen people that have taken washing machine engines and with a little small creek there produce enough DC power to produce lighting and DC products in their house sufficiently. It all comes down to need. And this is what the biggest question is. And we've talked about this many times, Laura, is that when governments and people push you towards city centers where you're living on top of each other, instead of being, you have a piece of property where you can be self sufficient and produce your own stuff, right? There's a big difference. If you're in an apartment building that's 100 stories tall and there's 5,000 people in there, how many gardens can you put in that property in the small little fingerprint you have, right? The big push, and this is the thing that the big problem with the school system about moving into big cities and getting into populations, technology is good. And you hear this in commercials too. Yeah, but you're not thinking about your own self sufficiency. And we said this on my show there again, was about people always diss preppers about being prepared and stocking up and being self sufficient. And I think there's going to be a big, huge thing there coming there soon. Is that people are going to be looking at maybe those people were actually right. They weren't the nut bars that the media has chastised as being the crazy people thinking of the end of the world.
Well, I just had this conversation with a neighbor today, and I was talking about prepping, and they said, well, it's going to be what it's going to be, and, I have what I'll have, or my parents might have it, but what they don't realize is it never hurts to have extra provisions, and I've said this so many times on your show, my show, times when I've been on other podcasts, is that say, for example, in the U.S., believe it was Mr. T that changed the emergency recommendations. I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago, might have even been 4. That instead of having every American recommending they have 2 weeks of provisions, we're talking food, water, medications, anything you may need for 2 weeks. He actually changed that to 6 months per person.
Right? Yeah, you're totally correct on that part there. That was the thing that they were talking about. That was while Trump was in office, is that you had to have these. Actually, it even started with Obama. That you should have.
No, but it was Mr. T that changed it. I know he did. He changed
Right.
the actual legislation under the FEMA recommendations to 6 months.
Yep, they changed, and they said that every household should have this period.
No, every person.
Right.
Enough.
No. Yeah. Well, I'm saying household, so the people in there would have the provisions for the people in the household. And this is the problem that came into this. Is what I was just saying is that if you live in an apartment, this is why you got if in an apartment building, you don't have any green space. If you're living inside of concrete cells, right? People have moved into big cities to live in a jail cell. That's basically what they've done. And the ones that can afford it to have a little bit of lawn, like how much of a lawn do we have here, Laura? And we're in a jail cell too.
No,
20
I'm
by
still
20 by
grateful.
30 and basement main
I'm
floor
still
upstairs.
grateful for what we have because we've got 3 floors. It's more like a house. It's a townhouse. There's room for the dog, but you're right. It's not a big. It's not a big lawn.
Can we have a cow?
If you're going to eat one on the barbecue, maybe.
Yeah, right. That's later on, but yes.
You know what I wanted to ask you? I just thought of that I hadn't had a chance to mention to you. Something that I saw that was really interesting but a little scary was there was the black-footed ferret, apparently that is now extinct, okay? And they saved the genetics of the last known live ferret back in the late 80s by the name of Willa.
Yep.
Well, I guess cloning and DNA advancement has come so far that the first black-footed ferret was born. They transplanted the embryo, and now they're starting to recreate the species that went extinct. They are apparently also working on the woolly mammoth. They want to create a woolly mammoth, clone it, and have a live one born. And I kept thinking, where, how, why? And the person that wrote this article actually said, Jurassic Park, anyone? But think about it, like, why would you bring the woolly mammoth back? How could it even survive? Like, where would it go? Where would it survive? Why would you want to bring one back?
Yes, and why would you want to bring back the woolly mammoth if you have all these Greta Thunberg people saying that there's global warming and you have a woolly mammoth that is full of hair? Where is he going to be? He's going to hang out in the Sahara Desert. He's going to hang out around Florida. He's going to hang. What is he going to do? What's the purpose of it? Well, this is a part of this questions and stuff that we get out there on my show there too, and yours as well. Is that we've had this pandemic, and there's been questions arise about gene manipulation and virus manipulation, bacteria manipulation, and this is a huge thing. And I think just a question that's out there is that other countries don't subscribe to the same laws that you do in yours or whatever, but I think there's people out there playing with genetics, and this is across through history because you can see this in all the pictures where you have the Minotaur and you have Sasquatch and you have other things. What do you think that these smart people that go to school, they're saying, hey, can I cross a pig with a raptor? They already have there that they're growing human ears on rats or mice or
And
whatever.
hair,
And you
infant
have,
scalp growing on rats, yeah.
yeah,
And what
you
I
have things
saw a
like this
video
that,
out of India, that instead of having humans, China on the border of India has armed the whole border with AI robots with machine guns, and they're robot dogs. And I've
yeah,
seen the video, like, and they can be, I guess, managed from afar by human beings.
yeah,
They're thinking they're trying to build them right now to be cognizant and thinking for themselves. So, but can you
yeah,
imagine if you, God forbid, were taken over by something like that, say in combat, and you were on the losing side? Not that there would necessarily be empathy in war, but there are exceptions when you have a human being making the decision behind the, say, the gun, and you've
yeah.
got AI. Well, like, good Lord, that's all I kept thinking was, and what if they went astray? Like, apparently they have even some of them watching, like, iRobot, like that Sophia, the robot that wants the baby now. Like, I'm thinking, my God, like, what the heck?
Well, the question that comes there now is that, and many people, this is going into the pot. This is a delicious recipe, not part of the Angel Rock. This is just on myself. So if you're gonna get mad at me about this. Is that Joseph Mengele experimented during the war and advanced medical science hugely, big, huge war crimes. Okay, and that was
Hmm.
under the cover of war, and there was repercussions after that. You have to wonder about what is Dr. Fauci doing right now,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's the part there. And I'm just going to throw that out there, and you have to think about that.
Well, with Black Ops, Super Soldier Program, we know what's happening. We've
Yes,
heard
we know
many
what the
things about that.
CIA
What's
and
happening?
their people
Hmm.
at DARPA has been doing. Yes, there's a lot of things there too. Everybody forgets about that, or they just dismiss it because they're not aware of it because it wasn't in mainstream
Well, plus you
media.
don't have to expose what the black budget is
Right.
for.
Well, the Tuskegee Airmen there, where they gave them they gave them a sexual disease, and then they paid
Syphilis.
for their stuff, and
Hmm.
they kept on testing and treating them and infecting them more and more and more. Like there's so much stuff. These are all in documents. These are documents you can look up, legal documents that are out there, and
Hmm.
you see what the government, the military part of it, has done, and the government has allowed to happen with
Hmm.
full knowledge. That's just here in North America. And don't even want to know about what happened in Canada with the Queen and all the deaths of Indian children and the Trudeaus and stuff like that. Like that's getting into something totally different because we can get banned for talking about JT and the Sunshine Band and his family's connection to corruption. That would be really, really bad for this show. But it's something to go and look into if you're really, really interested in looking into who they know and who they're making money from. And this is all public knowledge, it's all out there. And the people that have been accused of things that they partied with, it's all public knowledge. And you can check it all out. But that's the only thing is we only just sprinkle a little spice in there for you to go and do your own research. Correct, Laura?
Yep, that's true. Now, Manuel Lopez says, I want one. Are you talking about a woolly mammoth? Now, let's face it, a picture looks quite cute. Maybe a baby might even be adorable, but those things grow. What would you feed it? Where would you keep it? And like I said, just the fact of bringing back something that's extinct, yes, I guess that could be a beautiful thing, but then we got to think that I think part of living on this planet, it's all about balance, okay? It's all about whether you got light and dark, good and bad, cold and hot. Um, Things go extinct for a reason. Now, whether that reason is nature, whether it's man, no matter what it is, but we also have, whether you want to call it the circle of life or what you want to have it, it's all in balance. And we've seen this happen around the world when man interferes. You bring your cow out to stick on the barbecue. When man interferes and we don't put enough forethought into it, look at the cane toads in Australia. What's happening? There's many other instances around the world where this happens, where man intervenes. So now we've decided now that we're going to bring a woolly mammoth back just because we can doesn't mean we should. Wouldn't you agree, Del? He's not hearing me because he's barbecuing. I'll have to say it to him. But again, I'm going to repeat that. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. Did you hear that, Del?
It's on there.
Yeah, I said if just because man can do something doesn't mean we should, and that's including bringing back, say, a woolly mammoth or a velociraptor or something from the past. Things are extinct for a reason, and evolution happens where the circle of life or the balance of life evolves to try and maintain that balance. So when you bring it back when it was extinct, and then I brought up even like the cane toads, when man intervenes,
Yeah.
or like the carp. I forgot about the carp here.
Oh yeah, well that's another part of it. That's bringing invasive species into North America. The silver carp and the snakehead, and that was with Chinese people bringing it in. The same with goldfish and dropping them into the water systems, and actually they end up becoming hugely invasive species that have gone and hurt the wildlife and plantation. We had up there Asian longhorn beetle. A lot of see now. Okay, this is part of my conspiracy out there. You don't have to believe this or not. I think that the Asian people, government, not Asian people, but government, the war part of it, has been looking at after the end of the last Second World War. They've been continuing on and looking the way to destroy the rest of the world so they can take dominance. And by infecting a country, destroying their water systems, their trees for production, they already converted a lot of people to change manufacturing out of their country. Now you're left with a baby waiting for the bottle to be caught when they're weaning. Oh, where's the bottle? Oh, sorry, we can't give it to you. And you've seen this here where all the drugs there for the beginning of the pandemic, they're all being produced in China. And who gave that away? Joe Biden and Obama. Like, what? You haven't put the pieces together yet. If you are, I think about the game of Risk or world domination, know it, and it's always been said here, even on local media, mainstream media, 10 years before they went all twisted, is that the long game. China is always playing the long game. And then even CNN even said that 15 years ago, and now they don't say that anymore because they're in bed with the long game.
Well,
Because
we have
they're in the
just
game.
about been live here for just over an hour and a half. I think it's probably time to sign off now that the cow is on the barbecue.
The cow is on the barbecue, so I got to take watch of that one there.
Well, we should probably sign off. It's almost 8 o'clock. So you want to tell people where to find you, and then I'll tell them where to find me?
Yes, you can find me Thursdays at 7 Eastern here on UPRN, wherever else they do have podcasts and that, but it's United Public Radio out of Louisiana. And as long as we're still here and we haven't been censored by Bill, whatever it's 6C10 or 6, what, I can't remember. You know what? That the communist that's in power here, there he put so many bills forward, there can't remember it all of them, anyways. But other than that, yep. So my show, we just deal with, actually been dealing with authors, conspiracies, and a whole bunch of stuff. We just throw everything in the pot and just see how it comes at the end. And if you enjoy that, you can listen along. And I think we had a good show there the last time there before, and I think this show was a good one there too, Laura?
Yes, we did. Del and I do a lot of shows together if we don't have a guest because we live in the same house. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in tonight. If you're watching this on the replay, I want to thank you for your extreme patience with our issues that were unavoidable with the audio. I'm sorry, guys. Just par for the course with what's been happening lately, it seems. I'm Lorilei Potvin. Like I said, I'm a psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, and registered nurse. If you want to get a hold of me to book a reading, I am also going to be launching a second business with a lot of spirituality type pieces with resin, crystals, things like chessboards, you name it. Watch for that. You can find me on facebook.com/The Angel Rock, as well as pretty well every social media platform under The Angel Rock. I show The Angel Rock, like I'm repeating myself, but that appears live on Monday nights here on the United Public Radio Network on Monday nights from 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 11 p.m. And again, I want to wish you all a very happy, safe, wonderful new year. And like I always say, let's focus on what we want to see, not what we don't. and also we are stronger together than divided. So if we can unite as a human race, put our differences aside, you would be amazed at what we can get done. I want to send you all so much love and light and gratitude for being here and for joining us. Please share with your friends, let them know our amazing network that we're on, United Public Radio Network. There's something for everybody here. I want to thank my wonderful partner, Deli. And again, thanks everybody. Have a good one.